See, people who have healed minds can almost come off as rude. Heal my mind, the way I think, what I concentrate on. I'm praying the exact same prayer over you right now. God, heal our minds. And when you view your mind as soil, you'll start to be selective with who talks to you. If there's a whole lot of perversion out here, it's because there's a lot of perversion in here. When you view your mind as soil, you now can ask yourself these two questions. Who and what am I allowing in my garden? Today we are going to deal with the mind, the way you think, the way you process, your reasoning, your mindset. We're gonna deal with the mind, and the exact same prayer I prayed over myself back in college when I was begging for Jesus to detox me from all of the filth that I put before my eyes. I'm praying the exact same prayer over you right now. God, heal our minds. Heal my mind, the way I think, what I concentrate on, my focus, my reasoning. Heal my mind, because we have to get to this place where we begin to view the mind as soil. The mind as soil and conversations as seeds. We have to get to this place where we view the mind as soil and conversations as seeds. Your playlist as seeds. That website that you keep clearing the history because you don't want nobody to know that you're watching it. Yes, you cleared the history, but it didn't clear from your mind. That website is seeds. Your favorite show that you're subscribed to are seeds. And here's the thing about soil. Soil is neutral. It doesn't matter if you plant a grass seed, apple seed, pineapple seed, Johnny Appleseed. It doesn't matter what seeds you plant. Soil does not care, because the job of soil is to provide room and board for a seed and push the identity of that seed out. So if there's a whole lot of craziness out here, it's because there's a whole lot of craziness in here. If there's a whole lot of perversion out here, it's because there's a lot of perversion in here. If there's a whole lot of toxicity coming from here, it's because of all the toxicity in here. The only reason our community looks the way it looks is because of the mindset of everybody in the community. The only reason that our nation looks the way it looks is due to the mindset of those in our nation, because the mind is soil. Why is this important, Pastor? And why are we going this direction before reading the foundational text? It's because I need you to understand this. When you view your mind as soil, you now can ask yourself these two questions. Who and what am I allowing in my garden? See, people who have healed minds can almost come off as rude. It has taken too much work for me to get my mind this healthy. It has taken too much work for me to renew my mind the way that I have renewed my mind. I'm tired of digging up roots because I allowed you to plant a thought. It took too much work to get here. It took too much work to view women as my sisters versus sex objects that pour and train my mind to think. That took too much work. And when you view your mind as soil, you'll start to be selective with who talks to you. Not because you're mean, but you're guarding your heart with all diligence, because out of it flows the issues of life. Certain thoughts you have are not yours, but rather they are a Satan-induced ponder. We prove that via Job chapter 1 and Job chapter 2, Matthew chapter 4, verse 3, Genesis chapter 3, verse 4, several passages of scripture I was trying to get us to understand. Satan loves to plant thoughts, and thoughts are seeds that could transition into crop maturity if watered. And how do you know if a thought has been watered? It grows out of your words and out of your actions. Mark chapter 8, verse 32 and verse 33. To give a little context of this, Jesus is having this conversation. He says, all right, listen, I need y'all to know what's about to happen. I'm about to go to Jerusalem, be betrayed into the hands of sinners, I'm gonna suffer many things. I'm gonna be rejected by the chief priest, by the teachers of the law. I'm gonna get killed, but I'm gonna rise up on the third day. I want you to see this. Mark chapter 8, verse 32. It says, he spoke, speaking of Jesus, he spoke plainly about this. And Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. But when Jesus turned and looked at his disciples, he rebuked Peter. Notice what he says. He doesn't say, get thee behind me, Peter. He doesn't say, get thee behind me, Simon. He says, get thee behind me, Satan. But I'm like, man, this is showing us leadership. Can you talk to a person, see Simon sometimes, Peter sometimes, know when Satan's talking, but still view them as a disciple? You know how much maturity you have to be in a marriage to recognize, okay, he's having a Simon moment, but I know he's Peter. Oh, that's Satan, but they steal my head. He says, get thee behind me, Satan. And most of the time we stop right there, but I want you to notice what Jesus says after that. You do not have in mind the concerns of God, but merely human concerns. You're speaking, Peter, from a thought that really didn't come from you. But that thought that you have is not concerned about godly things. I came here to give you kingdom teaching, and I came to die on the cross. So for you to try to stop me from doing what I was born to do is obvious the enemy's behind it, because Satan does not want you to fulfill purpose. This is how you could always tell when somebody's influenced by the enemy when they're talking to you. They have no concern about the things of God. You're saying, I'm gonna wait until marriage. They're not concerned about purity. You're saying, I need to be an example. They're not concerned about being a witness. You're like, no, I'm not turning up with y'all on Juneteenth. I'm not getting drunk. They don't care about sobriety. Anytime you're talking to somebody about kingdom things and their conversation is not concerned about the things of God, it's an irrefutable sign that this conversation is being influenced by a spirit, because it's trying to talk me out of what I know God has talked me into. God, heal my mind.